Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online. So we are come up with the today's current affairs, 19th January, right? So we'll see what are the articles that we will be covering today. Yeah, so there are around 9 issues and some facts we have. Along with that, we will come up with some practice questions from this particular issue. So you please listen the session carefully so that you can answer the questions properly, right? So today's articles: Red Sea attacks that were in news, then reservation of scheduled caste under Article 341, Places of Worship Act, Somnath Temple in Gujarat, Khelo India Youth Games which are happening in Tamil Nadu, then antimicrobial resistance, Wings India 2024, graded response action plan, global firepower rankings. So there was some report, then factual pointers. Along with that, we will see some practice questions. First one, Red Sea attacks. So the context is this. This was there in news since last few months, but the context of today is this. Our Indian Navy's destroyer INS Visakhapatnam, so it is a ship name, destroyer name, responded to distress call by Marshall Islands flagged merchant vessel. So merchant vessel means it is carrying some goods. So it has asked for help from our Indian Navy. So we were rushed there and we helped them, right? Drone attack near Gulf of Aden. So we will see what is Gulf of Aden and what is Red Sea and all. So the context is this, right? Indian Navy has helped Marshall Islands merchant ship. Now, before going into the details about the issue, let's understand the background. There are 3 rebel groups that were there in news for this particular Red Sea attacks: Hamas, Houthis and Hezbollah. Let's understand one by one, then we will discuss about the Red Sea attacks. Who are Hamas? First, who are Hamas? So Hamas are Islamic resistance movement, Palestinian Sunni Islamists. So within Islam there are 2 groups, Sunni Muslims and Shia Muslims. So this Hamas are living in Gaza Strip and West Bank in the present Israel. So if you see this map, this is not zoomed, but just understand here within Israel. I'm not going to discuss about the Israel-Palestine issue, that is not the context, that is just the background. So within Israel, we have certain parts. This is Gaza Strip and this is West Bank. This is West Bank and this is Gaza Strip. So these areas were occupied by Palestinians. There is a lot of history about it. All this is Israel, right? So here, this group, Hamas, is active from these 2 regions, West Bank and Gaza Strip. They want to eliminate Israel from this region. That is their aim. So Hamas are those Palestinian Sunni Islamist group. Their aim is to defeat Israel in this region and occupy those territory. That is the facts about the Hamas. I mean, from which region and what is the objective. Those 2 are important. Then next is Houthis. So the second one is Houthis. These are the people now attacking in the Red Seas. Let's see who are they. They are Shia Islamist political and military organization, active in Yemen. So if you see this region, Yemen, it is border to Red Sea. So here, these Houthi groups are active, they are rebel groups. The actual government is different one. The Yemen government, the democratically elected government is different, right? So that is being supported by various groups like USA and all, and these Houthis are being perpetuated by Iran. So just understand that these Houthis are active in Yemen. They want to occupy the whole region and their objective is to support external movements against the United States, Israel, Saudi and Arabia. So these all they want to occupy and they want to enhance the occupation of all the territory and spread Islam across this region. So that is their aim. They are against the US, but they are being supported by Iran indirectly. So that is about the Houthis. So Houthis are the rebel groups active in Yemen. Their aim is to spread Islam across the region, right? Shia Islam they want to spread, but indirectly they are also support to Islam. That means if there is some other religion or some other issue, they will come to support to the whole region. So here, because of Israel-Palestinian issue, they are against they are already against the Sunni Muslims. But here in the context of Israel and Palestine, there are two different religions, right? So that's why they are supporting the Palestinians. So they want to defeat Israel. So that is the second objective which they have developed, right? That's why in the Red Sea now they are active. They are attacking the other merchant vessels. We'll see what is the Red Sea attacks and how it is affecting. Just understand that how this. Third one is Hezbollah. So this is other group which are active in Lebanon region, formed in 1982. They are formed in response. Yeah, welcome back. So there is some issue. We'll resume. I was discussing about some groups involved across the Red Sea or the Middle East region. You need to remember those groups as well for the exam. The Hamas, Houthis and Hezbollah, the differences, right? So Hamas are active in the Palestine region, the Gaza Strip and West Bank, and Houthis were active in the Yemen region. They are rebels against the Yemen government, and mostly they are ruling the major part of Yemen. And finally Hezbollah, which are active in the Lebanon region of Mediterranean Sea. Right? So these are the three groups that we have discussed. Coming back to the issue of Red Sea attacks, before discussing the issue, let's understand the Red Sea region. They will surely ask in the competitive exams about the bordering countries, what are all the water bodies surrounding in this Red Sea region. Right? So here, if you observe the Red Sea, it is a connection between the Arabian Sea, that is Indian Ocean, to the Mediterranean Sea. Here it is a Mediterranean Sea region, and it is a
welcome back. So there is some issue. We'll resume. I was discussing about some groups involved across the Red Sea or the
with the Mediterranean Sea, or you can say Arabian Sea with the Mediterranean Sea, right? And surrounding countries, if you observe, here there are two small water bodies. This is Gulf of Suez or Suez Canal, Suez Gulf, or Gulf of Aqaba. So right side one is Gulf of Aqaba and left side one is Gulf of Suez. Very important to remember. Now, if you see the countries here, Israel and Jordan. So in this Gulf of Aqaba, there are two countries, that is Israel and Jordan. Here in Gulf of Suez, that is completely within the Egypt, right? So three countries we have covered. And coming to the next countries, Sudan. So here Sudan borders with Red Sea, and then Eritrea. So there is no border with Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a closed one. So you have to remember this. Only Eritrea is bordering with the Red Sea. Then Djibouti. So one more small country is there, Djibouti. And in this Arabian Peninsula, we have Yemen, Saudi Arabia, right? So these are all the countries that are surrounding the Red Sea. And we have here Gulf of Aden. See, this is the Gulf of Aden that Indian ship has rescued. So this is Gulf of Aden, here Red Sea, and here we have Bab al-Mandab Strait. So you can just remember Bab al-Mandab Strait, right? So these are the surrounding regions of the Red Sea. Very important, you can expect one question from this region. Now coming to the issue or the importance of Red Sea before issue. The importance is this: trade, that means goods and services traveling from one country to other country. 15% of total trade across the world, including the petroleums, all these things pass through the Red Sea region. So this is the region. So if someone want to transport the goods, they have to travel through Red Sea. That means what? It is very important part of all the trade routes across the world, right? And if you are not able to pass through this Red Sea region, you have to cover Cape of Good Hope region. That means it increases more than 10 to 15 days of travel. So it is very huge negative impact if you are not traveling through Red Sea. So this is the alternate route, Cape of Good Hope. Approximately 20% of Indian goods, approximately 20% of Indian exports passes through this region. So I am just telling you, before going into the Red Sea attacks, I am telling you about the Red Sea and then importance of Red Sea. That is very important. Now let's understand the Red Sea crisis. Here, which group will be active? So just observe this map and say which is more easy for attacking the ships here. For which of the rebel groups? We have Hamas, we have Hezbollah in Lebanon, and here we have, right, Houthis. So Houthis are active in Yemen region. So that's why it is easy for them to attack in this region. So they may ask which rebel groups are active and attacking in the Red Sea region. So that is Houthis. So that is the issue. Let's see what they are saying. Houthi says that they themselves said that they have been attacking vessels in the Red Sea region with links to the Israel. So they have confessed that we are attacking the ships, but only those ships which are related to the Israel. So against Israel, they are attacking the ships. Okay, so that is again important. So that's their objective. They want to halt the Israel ships. Now, why they are doing it? Yes, they said that they are attacking the Israel-based ships, but why they are doing it? They says that it is a protest against Israel's military offense in Gaza after Palestinian militant group Hamas launched the attack. So on October 7th, Hamas launched the attack on Israel. So they have started the war, and Israel retaliated with many attacks in the Gaza as well as the West Bank region. So to stop or to defeat Israel, they are attacking these ships. Whoever supports the Israel, they will attack these ships. That's what they have confessed, right? So now we understood the issue, why there are more attacks in the Red Sea region. Now, how to handle this? The present scenario, US has launched an operation called Prosperity Guardian. Very important, they will ask in the exam. Prosperity Guardian. Joint patrol along with many countries, their supporters, their friendly countries like UK and Australia, New Zealand. So all together they have, defeating the Houthis. Even they have attacked recently 2 or 3 ships and they have dismantled those ships. Right, so this is the present situation. So we don't know how far it will take and when will it end. So you just understand there are 3 militant groups that are supporting in this war. The mainly Houthis, which are concentrated in the Yemen region. Why they are attacking? That's we have already discussed. And the operation to retaliate back against them, it was launched by USA along with the friendly countries. So this is the issue. We have to see in the future how far it will take and when it will end. So that we need to consider in the coming current affairs. So that is about the Red Sea attacks. Now second article, reservation to scheduled castes and scheduled castes under article 341. We'll see the context. There are 2 contexts actually. There were 2 articles, both are covered in the Hindu newspaper. So there are 2 contexts why we are discussing this. Karnataka government, Karnataka cabinet, they have recommended the center, they have requested the center to insert a new clause in the article 341. So we have 2 clauses under the article 341 of Indian Constitution. 341 1 and 2. Now they are asking to introduce 3rd clause as well. For what? That is the important. To give power to the states for internal reservation among the scheduled caste. So we have 15% reservation to all the scheduled castes currently. They want to make within scheduled caste, there are different other subcaste. So to subcategorize the reservation, the unequal distribution of 15%, it should not be equally distributed across the caste. Some caste may be highly advanced, some caste may be low, yet to advance. So they want to distribute the reservation of 15% among the subcaste belongs to the scheduled caste. So that's what they have recommended the center, because the power to do it lies only with the center. So the parliament has to bring some amendment. They have requested. So this is the context from Karnataka cabinet. One more context from the union government. They have formed 5-member committee of secretariats headed by the cabinet secretary. Right, cabinet secretary take care of all the central government duties, the cabinet. So they have launched one more committee. What is the objective of the committee? To evaluate and work out the method of equitable distribution or benefits among different scheduled caste. So within caste, some caste people have gone more government jobs within scheduled caste, and some castes have been dragged back. They were not able to get into the education system or get into the government jobs. So that's why they want to review this. So these are the 2 contexts that is related to the reservation to the scheduled caste. We will discuss the details first. So they are asking to add new class under the article 341. So there are 2 classes already existing. We will discuss those things. First class is this: President of India by public notification through gazette notification can specify any caste groups to be deemed as scheduled caste in relation to the state. So we have number of states, 28 states and union territories. So president will consult the governor or the state governments, and accordingly he will publish through the notification that this particular community belong to the scheduled caste. So that is his or her power, whoever is the president, right? But if once the any caste is added into scheduled caste, the power to change whether to remove or to add the new caste, include or exclude from the list of scheduled caste, lies in the parliament. Okay, president will notify, he or she has the power to notify, but ultimately to change whether they are included or excluded from this list is decided by the parliament. This is very basic logic, because parliament has the members who are directly elected by the people, right? So directly or indirectly, if it is Lok Sabha, it is directly elected by the people, and Raj Sabha indirectly elected. So ultimately, the people who are elected by the citizens of India will have the power to change or make the decisions, right? That's why parliament is given with this particular duty. So understand this difference. President has just power to notify by asking state governments or governors that this particular caste can be considered as a scheduled caste. But ultimately, to change or to implement that, the power lies with the parliament, right? So these are the two classes mentioned in the Article 341. Karnataka government have asked third class to give power to the state government to differentiate or to distribute the reservation given to the scheduled caste. So that is their demand. The existing criteria, so if you see the existing criteria of scheduled caste reservation, see the rationale behind the reservation. So if you observe this diagram, so there are different concepts. Equality, it means you need to consider all the people or all the citizens or all any particular community equally, right? So all will be given with certain benefits. So that means what? Some will have more capability, some will have less, some will have least capability because of historical reasons. If you consider this scheduled caste reservation, historically they are discriminated across the Indian territories. So that's why they are backward now, right? So to promote them or to empower them, government has come up with the scheduled caste reservation, so that certain number of posts or education has to be given with this particular community. So that is equality, but now reservation is a equity concept, but that means whoever is already in advanced position, that they don't need to give any benefits. Whoever is stand behind, they need to be promoted by giving reservation. So that is equity. So reservation is an equity concept. They want to make in future everyone equal, right? So this is the border, like you can take example. So in future they want to make everyone equal, but the present condition is that they are in different capabilities. So that is the concept of the reservation, right? Ultimately freedom has to be given. That means after giving all equal provisions in the future, after 100 years, 200 years, so there may be no need of government regulation. So that is called as liberation. So if you consider the present condition of scheduled caste reservation in India, so they are given with 15% quota in both education as well as employment organizations. So they are given with the 15% reservation. That is also important to remember. Article 30, not Article 341. So you need to know the differences. Wherever the reservations are placed in Indian Constitution with related to the scheduled caste, you need to know the differences, because in exam the examiners will just change the articles and they will give the question. So you need to be more clear about it. Article 341 is this, right? So reservation related to employment and education, or the role of president and parliament. The actual reservation lies in the Article 16. Here in Article 330, it also provides reservation to the seats for scheduled caste people in the parliament, in both Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha, and also in legislative assemblies. So this is given reservation under Article 330. So Article 330 is giving reservation in parliament seats and state legislative seats. Okay, that is the one provision. And one more provision, reservation is provided not only with respect to direct recruitment, but also with respect to the promotions for SC/ST category under Article 16(4)(a). So not only encouraging them in terms of getting government job, but occupying the higher positions in terms of the power distribution right? So here also the reservation is provided. Very important. Now we are also giving promotion based on the promotion criteria as well. So in promotion criteria also we are encouraging the reservation. There is no concept of creamy layer with respect to scheduled caste reservation. So unlike OBC caste, if you see OBC reservation, there will be two criteria, creamy layer or non-creamy layer. Creamy layer is those particular community within OBC reservation which have advanced in terms of economy, right, in terms of employment, they are already advanced. So there won't be any reservation of 27% to those creamy layer people. The people who are from non-creamy layer are, they are less advanced or underdeveloped within OBC communities. They are given with the 27% reservation. So they have categorized rich and poor within the OBC. But here in SC and ST reservation, there is no such creamy layer criteria. So that's what the government, this is the central government, they have appointed the committee based on this only. In future, if the report comes that there are certain communities within this SC/ST has benefited, then there will be a creamy and non-creamy layer criteria, right? So this is the second context that we were talking about. Karnataka context, we have already seen under Article 341 that they want to give more power to the state governments, right? So this is the existing condition of reservation, and also there are certain other parts of the constitution which are given with the reservation. Article 243D, right? So Panchayats Act, they have given reservation for certain seats, right? So with how much percent? With proportion to their population. So in different states, we have different amount of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes population. So according to the population percentage of that particular state or particular region, the reservation is given to those communities. So this is Article 243D, and Article 233T, one more article, provides reservation for SCs and STs in every municipality. So this is 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So this is 73rd. So in panchayats they are given with certain reservation according to the population. Here also same, according to the population. Don't confuse that there is a 33% reservation for women. Here there is no number mentioned. It is only with proportion to their population number in that particular state or region. Also under Article 335, one more article, Constitution says that claims of SCs and STs, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, shall be taken into consideration constituently with maintenance of efficiency of administration. So this was ruled by Supreme Court that yes, if you are providing promotion, reservation in promotion, but duly consider the efficiency of the administration. If it is not affecting the administration, then you can give the promotion to that particular community, but if it is affecting the administration, then you should not give. So this is mentioned under Article 335. These are all articles, you need to identify the difference, very important. So that's what the context in newspaper, they will just give 1 or 2 lines, but that's not how the questions are framed. Questions will be grilled with the background or all the surrounding issues or surrounding facts, they will frame the questions. So you need to understand all the articles, right? So that is about the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes reservation. So if you have any doubts, you can ask, or else we'll move to the next article. Let's see if there are any doubts. You can ask any doubts if it is not clear, or if you have any specific doubts, you can ask. Okay? Right. Let's move to the third article. So we have discussed Red Sea attacks and then scheduled caste reservation, the background, all surrounding facts. Now, Places of Worship Act 1991. We'll see what is the context. Allahabad High Court ordered to appoint a commissioner to inspect the Shahi Idgah Mosque in Mathura, Uttar Pradesh. Right? So if you have visited Mathura, if you are from the nearby region, do visit if you haven't visited. You can see the Mathura temple, the Lord Sri Krishna temple, alongside by some mosque, right? So there are two in the same region you can see two different religions. So that is one of the examples for communal harmony. Somehow there will be some issues because of diversified nature in the Indian subcontinent. So the context is this: Allahabad High Court has asked to review about the Shahi Idgah Mosque in Mathura. So that is the context. We will see how the Places of Worship Act comes into the picture here. Supreme Court, however, has stalled for a while. I mean, Allahabad High Court has announced this, but Supreme Court is more superior to High Courts. So that's why they have asked to stall because that may raise the issue of Places of Worship Act and there will be more communal issues. So Supreme Court has halted. But we'll see what is the act and what are all the elements which we need to remember for the exam. First you need to remember the year, of course. The act, what are the provisions of the act we will discuss. The act declares that religious character of any worship of a place, of any worshipper place shall continue to be same as it is existing during the independence from British rule. See, we got the independence on August 15, 1947. After that, we have number of communal clashes immediately. So what happens after 19? What happened? Because of majority by Hindu religion, 86% we have Hindus, right? So they are dominant. So there may be more politics surrounding it. There may be more issues surrounding it. That's why the government in 1991 they have brought the act that you should not change the nature of the given worship place. For example, if it is mosque or for example if it is temple, so you should not convert it to the mosque, or mosque should not be shifted towards the temple without proper due process or proper constitutional provisions. That's why the act says. That's how they are protecting the existing monuments within India. So the communal elements also can be curtailed by making existing things on the given situation, right? So this is the objective of the act. They don't want to allow to change the nature of the existing places. The act also specifies the date. It has clearly specified that 15th day of August 1947 as the cutoff date to maintain status quo of any places of worship. That means what? Before whatever happened, that is under the British hands. That is not going to impact. Only on 15th or after it, if you are changing it, that is not allowed. You cannot change the nature of the given worship place, right? So that is the provision. There are also some exemptions within the act. It is not going to apply for ancient and historical monuments, archaeological sites and remains that covered under Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958. So see, Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites Act 1958 gives more protection to the tourist places or monuments. See, we have thousands of monuments, but here we only certain around 3,000 monuments are being protected under Ancient Monument Acts. So if there is any monument, so if take example of Brideshwara temple, it is kept under the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites Act. So that means what? It is going to be protected by this particular Archaeological Survey of India department by under Ministry of Culture. So that means there are many other monuments which are not part of it. Only 3,000. We have thousands, like even in lakhs we have small if you consider, there are lakhs of monuments. So other than these things, those things cannot be changed. The monuments under Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites can be changed. That does not mean that they can change innumerably. It is with the due process by passing some act or with the rules and regulations or with the Supreme Court judgments. So accordingly, they can change only the monuments kept under the Ancient Monument Acts. So this is one exemption. The second exemption is this, that it does not apply to the places of worship under Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid case. So the dispute, so you can see that Ayodhya is going to be launched by our Honorable Prime Minister in the coming couple of days. So it was the existing monument before 1991. So there was some issue. We will discuss those issues. So here, this Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid also exempted from this act. That means it can be changed. Government is indirectly saying it can be changed. Why? There are a lot of politics surrounding it. Government cannot the existing government cannot take harsh decisions, of course, without consent of the people. So that's why it has exempted, or else this act might have not passed. So this particular monument along with the monuments kept under this act were exempted from the act 1991. So understand the objective when it was passed and what are all the exemptions. So that is about the act. So why this act was passed? That is also important to understand the issue. In 1991, so there was a communal clashes in Ayodhya between two communities. Here it was exaggerated through L.K. Advani's Rath Yatra. So there was a Rath Yatra by L.K. Advani that time, right? So it was exaggerated and the people were very hyphenated state, they are more violent. So because of this thing, there are two groups. Of course, there will be communal clashes. They have been communal clashes. So in this background, government felt that the then Home Minister Chavan, S.B. Chavan, so the then Home Minister of India, so he has put forward the statement in the Parliament that it is very important. The measures are necessary in the view of controversies surrounding across the region. So if we are not bringing any act, there will be more conversation, there will be more temples or mosques converted to different nature of the monuments. So that's why it is necessary. So the government at that time felt that this is necessary to promote or to sustain the communal harmony across the region. So that's what the objective or the background. Now many petitions has filed in the Supreme Court against this Places of Worship Act, that they want to quash it, or Supreme Court has to quash it because it is unconstitutional. But court has held that this is necessary, the act is necessary because it is promoting secularism, means equal consideration of all religions. There should not be any discrimination, and also basic features of the constitution. So secularism is a basic feature of the constitution. So to protect the secularism, of course it is very important to protect the monuments. So that's why this act is valid. Supreme Court has concluded it in one of the judgments, right? So that is about the Places of Worship Act. So the background and the provisions of the act and the exemptions are very important. So let's see any doubts. Okay, let's move to the next article, that is Somnath Temple. So why it is there in news? We'll understand the context why it is there in news. So you can see the beautiful Somnath Temple in Gujarat, in the sea coast. So the context is this: 73 years ago, so Ayodhya temple is going to be launched soon in the couple of days. So 73 years ago, this temple was inaugurated in a grand ceremony by the President of India. So many of the newspapers, including Hindu, Indian Express, they have covered this Somnath temple, or the 73 years back the ceremony they have covered. So that's why we are taking it, and the questions can be framed anyway from the Somnath temple. Let's understand the background of Somnath temple. We don't know who has constructed it. There is no proper sources. That's why you cannot see any of the sources who has built any particular king or any particular kingdom. There is no proper proof because it is much earlier. It was constructed much earlier, and there are no inscriptions remaining. This temple was reconstructed several times in the past after repeated destruction by the multiple invaders, notably starting from Muhammad Ghazni. So Muhammad Ghazni, before Delhi Sultanate, there was empire from the western or the Arabian Peninsula. So he has destructed many times. Not only this particular person, even after that many Islamic rulers like during Delhi Sultanate and then Mughal Empire, during Mughal Empire, this temple was destructed many times and also reconstructed many times. Okay, and there are many Islamic rulers like Akbar who has promoted this. So you can see the sources that he has promoted, he has given donations, and many of the cultural events are also happened. So you should not take any communal elements. So you cannot judge the present with the history. So you just understand that it was destructed many times and reconstructed many times. On November 12th, 1947, I'm not talking about how many destructions, what are all the destructions happened to this temple. Just come back to the contemporary things, you will understand. So on November 12th, after independence, 1947, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, then Home Minister, has visited Junagadh and announced that the decision to reconstruct the Somnath temple. So there was this is the condition, or you can see here, this is the condition during 1947, and our Honorable Home Minister has visited and they decided to reconstruct the temple, right? So this was endorsed by Union Cabinet headed by the Prime Minister Nehru. So they have started the reconstruction and they have completed it, right? Let's see the facts about the Somnath temple. It is also called as Diopata. So it is also called as Diopata, very important. In exam, if you see where is Diopata located, don't confuse, it is nothing but Somnath temple in Gujarat. So it is located in Prabhas Patan, Veraval in Gujarat. So state they may ask, or region in worst case they may also ask the region. So it is in Veraval, Gujarat. Hindus believe it to be the first among the 12 Jyotirlingas. So we have different, 12 Jyotirlingas are there across India. This is also important. How many Jyotirlingas are there, they may ask. So this is considered the first Jyotirlinga within Indian subcontinent. The present Somnath temple is reconstructed in Maru Gurjara style. So it is nothing but Chalukyan style only, which is combination of Dravidian and Nagara architecture. So I am not going to discuss about what is Dravidia, what is Nagara. You can get back to the cultural elements. So it is constructed in Chalukyan style with the combination of both Dravidian, South Indian temple architecture as well as North Indian architecture, that is called as Nagara architecture, right? So this is also important. So what we are doing, we have seen the background, how the temple has been reconstructed and the facts surrounding it. That's how you need to prepare for the exam, right? Next article, Khelo India Youth Games 2024. So identify, it is not just Khelo India, but it is a Khelo India Youth Games. So the context is this: the 6th edition of Khelo India Youth Games will be starting from 19th January, that means today, and will be happening till 31st January 2024. In which state? That is important. So in statement based questions, even in UPSC they have asked chess based questions and the test championship. Recently sports questions are also appearing in the higher level exams, right? So earlier they were only appearing in the lower level of exams, below a group grade B or grade C, but now it is also appearing in the central exam, the higher level exams, right? So this is the context. The Khelo India Youth Games are going to start in Tamil Nadu from today. Let's see what is Khelo India first, then we'll go to Khelo Youth India Games, and then we will also see this year edition. So here Khelo India is nothing but a scheme, a government scheme envisaged by our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji in 2017. So why they have launched? They want to encourage the sports at the grassroots levels. You know, India is one of the largest countries in terms of population, but our ranks in Olympic stands beyond 20, 30, 40, 50, right? So that's why they want to promote athletics at the ground level, at the school or the local level. So in the coming year of or decades, we may improve it to the higher level. So it is like a decentralized scheme to promote the sports and infrastructure across India. The Khelo India scheme is a flagship central sector scheme. So this is also important to understand. Central sector scheme means 100% funded by the central government. If it is a central sponsored scheme, then 60% fund will be given by the center and 40% funds will be given by the states. So this is being completely sponsored by the central government, by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, right? So which ministry is handling this scheme is also important. Twin objectives. There are two objectives under this Khelo India program or games. Mass participation, that means huge number, right? You can identify the best among them and you can bring it to the higher level and the Olympics as well. And promotion of excellence in sports. So the efficiency or the accuracy in sports they want to increase. So this is about the Khelo India Games. Now Khelo India Youth Games. Within Khelo India Games we have Youth Games. We will see Khelo India Youth Games is an annual multidisciplinary, that means not just one single sport, it is a multidisciplinary, held at the national level every year. Okay, it was conducted for two groups of students. Very, very important, these facts. So under Khelo Youth Games we have two categories: students under 17 years who are doing higher secondary school, that means after 10th, students under 21 years in colleges. So it is conducting for higher secondary and graduation level, right? So there are two criteria within the youth games, very important to remember. It was started in 2018. So immediately after Khelo India Games, the next year itself, 2018, it was launched with the name Khelo India School Games. They have launched with the name Khelo India School Games. Later they have changed it to Khelo India Youth Games in 2019. Very important about these differences. One, it was emerged this with particular name. All these things are important. The last of Khelo India Youth Games were held in Delhi, Pune, Guwahati, Panchkula in Haryana and Bhopal. So this year it is happening in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so this is about the facts related to the Khelo India Youth Games. Now let's see this year edition, very important with regard to all the facts. You can see the muscat as well here. Let's see these facts surrounding it. It is organized in Chennai, Tiruchi, Madurai and Coimbatore. So not just in one particular city, it is happening across 4 cities in Tamil Nadu, and more than 5,500, that means 5,500 people are, players are participating in the event. And one important fact to observe here is this: for the first time, squash will be included in these games. Earlier, there is no squash game in this particular youth game, so now we have included it, very important in the exam. The mascot of this game, Veeramangai Velu Nachiyar. So she is the first queen to fight against the British's colonial power in India, right? So she is from Tamil Nadu region. She was taken as a mascot for this particular games, right? So that is about the Khelo India games. Any doubts? Right, let's move ahead. The next one, antimicrobial resistance. So antimicrobial resistance, the context is this: Union Health Ministry has asked doctors to make it mandatory practice to write the indication while prescribing the antimicrobials. So we'll understand what is AMR and all. Just understand the context, that if you are giving any prescription to the patient, you need to clearly indicate mandatory practice, like when you have to use this, or on which date, or on how many days you need to use. Clearly you mention this. Okay, so that is the context why we are taking this news. We will understand what is antimicrobial resistance. First understand here, listen here. You take human body, if you keep on practicing certain things, say for example, if you are beating your hand with the stick continuously for take example 1 year, every day you are beating, so your hand will become resistant. It will take and it will resist that. Even if you are beating, it won't feel pain, as like when you felt the pain in the first day, you won't feel it after 100 days or 200 days. So repeated doing of certain things will give the resistance. The same way, because we are using our tablets or the injections without proper prescriptions innumerably, without the mandatory regulation, that means what? Number of bacteria, viruses, they were able to resist, and they know how these tablets are working. Maybe initially they will have setbacks, like they will not be able to resist and they die easily, but after a few years, after repeated use, what they will do, they will develop the resistance against the medication. So what will be the issue here? So all the medications, all the injections that we have developed will become redundant, right, over the period of time. So that's why there will be more diseases, there will be more deaths, there will be more fatality, right, because of this resistance developed by the microbials. So that is the concept. It is a natural phenomena that occurs when microorganisms such as bacteria, virus, fungi, so parasites, there are different microbials, become resistant to the antimicrobial prescriptions, that means tablets. So they will become resistant. If you see the intensity of the AMR in 2019, approximately 5 million human deaths. 5 million means 1 million, you can see 10 lakhs, so 5 into 10 lakhs you can multiply. So 50 lakh deaths has happened due to AMR. So if you could have able to control the AMR, there won't be any resistance from the microorganisms. We could have saved 50 lakh people. So that is the intensity. Also ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, revealed that resistance to broad spectrum antimicrobials increasing by 5 to 10% every year. So year on year, the number of bacteria resisting this prescriptions are increasing 5 to 10%. So if you are not going to tackle this as soon as possible, you will see lot of fatalities. You need to introduce new medications, new research that will also cost more to in the government, especially the developing countries and the underdeveloped countries, right? So this is the intensity of AMR. So what is the government efforts here to control this? Indian government efforts, National Action Plan 2017-21. So they have given certain prescriptions, or they have emphasized effectiveness in the government initiatives such as Swachh Bharat to promote sanitation, cleanliness, so that AMR will not develop. See, cleanliness is also very, very important, because if there is a continuous death, the insects or the microbials easily understand the given conditions and they will be able to resist the given situation. But if it is cleaner, they won't be able to live there, they will die easily if the places are more cleaner, and AMR will also be controlled. And increasing community awareness, so government is also increasing community awareness among the people. Specific guidelines, so regarding the use of limiting use of antibiotics, so this is one of the context that we were discussing. So they are giving prescriptions or the guidelines to the community to enhance the mandatory regulation of antibiotics. Scrutiny of antibiotic prescriptions, so again the same thing. So these are all measures has already been taken by the government, right? Now if you see this diagram, how does resistance spread? So how this AMR spread? So if you going for other country, so you will also have seen the human body resist feeling the different climate conditions in the different countries, and when they come back to this particular country, so they will not be able to face this issue, or the microbials easily they can able to resist this particular temperature. So through travel you can there is a increase in resistance among the microorganisms. Antibiotics used by the humans, so if you are using more antibiotics without prescription, that means you are telling your body that you experience these things. So microbial will able to resist that over a period of time, and your body will become fragile. Antibiotics used by the companies in animals and livestock. Antibiotics pollute environment, right? Import of livestock. So all these things are promoting the AMR across the regions. How can resistance be prevented? So as a citizen, it is your responsibility to know this and also follow, also spread these things. Hand and kitchen hygiene, so you are not allowing the dirty conditions surrounding you. Health system performance, clean food and water, responsibility use of antibiotics, don't use even for small cough, cold, we are using lot of antibiotics. Our human body is naturally resistant to lot of organisms, right? So vaccination we can promote, communication on health issues you can communicate. So by taking all these measures you can control the AMR in the India or across the world. Yes, so any doubts in AMR? Right, we'll move to the next one. Wings India 2024. See, these are the articles which were not covered by the Hindu or Indian Express or any other proper or articles from different newspapers. You can check. These are the articles which were exclusively covered in PIB. So in exam they will come up with such type of questions and you will be trapped, right? You need to know. The context is this: Wings India 2024 has started in Hyderabad from January 18. So from yesterday, so there is a Wings India festival like type, so it has started. So that is the context where it is happening in Hyderabad. All these facts are very important. Begumpet, Hyderabad, it is happening. We'll go back to the background of Wings India, what is actually the Wings India, then we'll come to the this year edition. So this is Asia's largest event focusing on general, commercial and business related to the aviation. So this is the Asia's largest, not world largest, remember, Asia's largest aviation event. And what is the objective? Why they are conducting this event? It focuses on investment, new business, acquisition, regional connectivity and policy formulation related to the aviation. So they want to promote India's aviation sector by promoting investment, policy formation, connectivity, all these things can in the end promote the aviation sector in India. The first edition has happened in 2020, very important first edition, with the theme of flying for all. During COVID years itself, they have conducted with the theme flying for all. You need to remember this year theme. The first edition also happened in Begumpet because Hyderabad is one of the biggest aviation cities. And who is taking the responsibility of organizing this? Ministry of Civil Aviation, Airport Authority of India and Chamber of Commerce and Industry, right? So these are the three bodies involved with this. They are taking the organization. All these facts are important. And if you see this year event, the theme is connecting India to the world in the Amrit Kaal, setting the stage for India Civil Aviation 2047. So this is the theme. At least remember the N words and some Amrit Kaal type things, so that you can easily answer by seeing the options. And it is being happened in Begumpet Airport in Hyderabad, right? So these are the facts related to the Wings India 2024. Next, graded response action plan. So the context is this: government revokes stage 3 of graded response action plan. So you need to understand what is actually the graded response action plan to understand what is stage 3 here. So government has taken back the stage 3. We'll see what is this and you will understand the context. Background. So you know, every year Delhi faces a lot of pollution, especially during the winter season when the air or wind is stagnated, right? So during those periods there is a lot of air pollution and that will impact a lot of health, especially the vulnerable people like elderly. So this graded action plan will be put forward in the Delhi, only in the Delhi, okay? So in the Delhi NCR region, not in across the Indian territory. So remember this. This will be put into the action when there is a deterioration of air quality. So whenever there is a deterioration of air quality in the Delhi, they will come up with this graded action plan, okay? So let's see what are all the elements involved. Graded response action plan was actually first launched in 2017 by Ministry of Environment. So they have started this in way back in 2017. Still it is being utilized because air pollution hasn't controlled in the Delhi, right? So this is the objective why they are doing it. Whenever there is a more severe air pollution in Delhi, they will put forward this. Commission for Air Quality Management has constituted a subcommittee for operationalization of GRAP. So we have Ministry of Environment. Under that we have CAQM. So it will report and put measures put forward between or before Ministry of Environment, right? So this body consists of various government because NCR has Haryana, Delhi, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, many other state territories surrounding in the NCR region. So because of these regions also, Delhi is facing the pollution. So this body will have people from different states, right? And they will put forward their action plan, right? So these are the categories. You don't need to worry, just understand the issue. Moderate to poor. So when there is a moderate to poor air quality, we have these measures. Enforce pollution control in thermal power plants, mechanized sweeping in roads, ban on firecrackers, stop garbage burning. So whenever there is a particular matter of 120 or more, so we'll come up with this action. And if it is very severe, so if it is very severe, then shutting of schools, introduce odd even scheme. That means whatever the numbers that we have, only those particular vehicles has to be traveled. So odd even scheme, so we have different odd number or even number in the vehicle. So based on that, there is a permission to travel on those particular days. Stop construction activities. So these are the severe conditions. So this very poor and severe. Based on this, they will come up with different measures. This was put forward by the Ministry of Environment, right? So understand the issue. You don't need to worry about these provisions. We are not even discussing in detail. Just to make you understand how the graded action plan is put forwarded, I have discussed these two things, okay? So this is about the graded action plan. You will see how the questions can be framed in the practice questions. The last article, Global Firepower Rankings. So it was released by some private person, so you no need to worry about who has released this. 2024 Military Strength Rankings has been released by Global Firepower Rankings. So through Global Firepower Rankings, they have given rankings for various military based on the differentiation with the country. So different countries have different rankings. Who released this report? You no need to worry because that is a private person. So don't worry about it. Details about the report. US leads the military strength ranking. So US has first rank. They are the most powerful country in terms of military, followed by Russia and China. Second and third. And India placed fourth. Very important. What is the rank of Global Firepower Index with regard to India? So fourth. Very important. Pakistan ranked 9th. We have to know because it is our neighboring country and competitor. Italy rounded at 10th. You no need to worry all these details. So other countries also include UK, Japan. So examiner will not ask all these details. They will just focus on the top 3 and India's rank. That's what they focus when they are framing the questions. So India specific facts are there. India scored power index of 0.1023, If it is 0.00, that means they have perfect well. So that means no other country can defeat them in any given situation. But India's score is a little bit lagged and they are placed at the 4th rank. With over 1.4 million active personnel, India has the second largest military force. That means stand by the military force. In terms of military, it is second largest after China. But overall military power, it is 4th. The defense budget, however, of India is much lesser. $76.6 billion when we compare to the USA 714 billions and China $209 billion. So that is India's defense budget, you need to remember. India also imports 70% of arms, but recently it has accelerated. Earlier we were importing more than 90%. Now we have reduced because we are indigenizing it. India also possesses nuclear triad. That means we can launch nuclear weapons from water, land and air. Right? So these are about the global firepower index with regard to specific India. There are some factual pointers which are very important for our exam. So advanced estimates by Ministry of Agriculture, they have estimated about the horticulture. So there will be some questions related to the horticulture. What is the production? How much production is the total? So total area kept under horticulture in India, 28.04 in million hectares. So 1 million 10 lakhs. So you can see 10 lakh hectares multiplied with this. Okay. So this is the total area kept under the horticulture. Very important. We have this final because this is a still provisional, not yet finalized. This is what you need to remember. Total 28.04 million hectares were cultivating under horticulture. Production, how much tons? Million tons, 347.18 million tons are being produced in terms of horticulture. These two are the facts which are relevant. Simple, very important. You can see 1 or 2 questions in competitive exams from agriculture. Second fact, consultation process has been initiated by high level committee on one nation, one election. So we have different elections conducting in different regions in different times. Every year you can see 3-4 states conducting the elections. So government has come up with one nation, one election. So there should be only one elections across the states and at the center and single time, right? So who is heading this? Shri Ramnath Kovind, our former president. So there may be a question, who is heading this high level panel consulting or regarding one nation, one election? It is Ramnath Kovind Commission, right? So that is the second fact. And the third fact, Odisha government unveiled Sri Mandir Parikrama Prakalpa. So there is a program. The objective is to develop Jagannath temple tourism at Puri, right? So which government has started? Sri Mandir Parikrama Prakalpa program. So that is what the question may come, or which related to the which temple? Jagannath temple in Puri. So there may be 2 facts you can remember. Next, you can see there are 2 cattle here. So we'll see the context. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, on the context of Shankranti festival, was feeding Punganur cows. There was lot of pictures and even newspapers has covered this. So Punganur cows here becomes important because our Prime Minister has fed them, right? At his Delhi residence, let's see the Punganur. What is Punganur cows? It is a dwarf breed native to parts of Chittoor district in Andhra Pradesh. So they are the world's shortest humped. Hump means this one. So world's shortest humped bulls, that they are called as Punganur cattle, and they are world's shortest humped cattle. And where they belong to? They belong to the Chittoor district in Andhra Pradesh. So these are the facts that you need to remember from this Punganur cows. Now let's solve some practice questions. So that is what about our session. Now we'll see some questions. You can practice. We'll see if there are any doubts. Yeah. So you can solve the first question. You can answer here in live chat. I hope someone will answer this. Consider the following statements or following countries or water bodies. So they have given certain countries or water bodies. Sudan, Ethiopia, Gulf of Aqaba and Persian Gulf. They have given 4 countries. Which of the above countries border with Red Sea? So we have seen the Red Sea, right? We have discussed what are all the countries or water bodies surrounding it. Let's see, Sudan has it surrounded. Okay, you may be in dilemma. So here, let's see Ethiopia. So you can comment your answer if you are watching. Ethiopia, does it border with Red Sea? I have already said this exclusively, specifically. Ethiopia is a landlocked country. Eritrea we have boundary, but we don't have Ethiopia. So option 2 is eliminated. So easily you have got the answer. This is how you need to answer the question. You should not jump into the answers by just doing first statement. You just need to know certain clue in the question and then you need to come with the answer, right? So this 1 and 3. So here Persian Gulf, no, we don't have Persian Gulf with bordering with the Red Sea. So Gulf of Aqaba and Sudan. So you can see here the diagram. So this is Gulf of Aqaba. This is Gulf of Aqaba and then Persian Gulf is here. So it is not surrounding the Red Sea. Sudan, yes, we have Sudan, right? And Eritrea we have, but Ethiopia we don't have. Gulf of Aden and this Sudan we have boundary. That's how you need to answer the question. Next, second question, which of the following statements about the reservation system in India are correct? Right to reservation in India is a fundamental right for certain classes, they are asking. So they are saying that it is a fundamental right. Let's see if you are in dilemma. Let's see the second statement. The power to include in or exclude from the list of scheduled castes lies with the President of India. So I have discussed this. Parliament have the ultimate power to include or exclude, not the President. He or she will just notify it. So second statement stands wrong. We have already eliminated 50% of the options, so we are left with 2. Article 15 enables reservation in promotion to certain classes in India. So this also we have discussed, Article 4.1. That is giving power to the promotions. So third statement are also wrong. So here we don't have that third here. Non-creamy layer concept is applicable only to OBCs at present. So non-creamy layer or creamy layer criteria is only given with OBCs currently. So fourth statement should be there. So this is how the questions will come. You will be stuck with the 2 options. So 4 only or 1 and 4 only. So here the statement 1 plays a huge role. So in recent judgments, Supreme Court has told that reservation is not a fundamental right. You cannot claim, you cannot ask government that give reservation. It is the affirmative action from government side. That's all. You cannot claim that I am this particular committee, I need to be provided with a reservation. Okay. So that is not a fundamental right. So statement 1 stands wrong. Answer is C. Next question. Places of Worship Act was introduced in which of the following years? This type of questions does not comes with the higher level of post like UPSC civil services. They will mostly ask in the lower levels like Group B, Group C, Group D. So here answer is 1991. We have already discussed this. Which of the following statements about Kalo India Games is incorrect? They have given 4 options and they are asking. So you take 5 seconds and you can answer this. Right? Yeah. So let's read the statements. We have already discussed in detail about the Kalo India Games. The mascot of 6th Kalo India Youth Games is Veerangai Velu Nachiyar. Yes, this is correct. So we have seen the diagram or the pic also. Kalo India scheme is centrally sponsored fund scheme supporting both central and state governments. So it is saying that it is a centrally sponsored, not a central sector scheme. It is being supported or funded by both central and state government. So we have already discussed that it is a central sector scheme with support exclusively from central government. So this is wrong. We already got the answer. Kalo India Youth Games is annual multidisciplinary sporting event held as part of Kalo India Games. So yes, Kalo India Youth Games are happening as part of Kalo India Games. So this is also correct. Kalo India Games are held every year within Indian territorial regions only. Yes, within Indian territorial regions only, it is not being conducted in other countries. So this is also correct. So the students does not read the question properly. After reading first option A itself, they feel that this is the correct and they will mark answer A. But they have answered, they have asked incorrect. So 3 statements A, C and D are correct and B is wrong. So you need to choose the wrong one, right? And the last question, the popular Punganur cows locally attributed to which of the following regions? So Karnataka no, Uttar Pradesh no, Tamil Nadu no, we have already seen. It is from Chittoor. So Andhra Pradesh, right? So this is about the today's session. We have discussed the detailed events and we have practiced some questions as well. Thank you very much and keep following. Thank you.